Hi, I'd like to welcome you guys to our first segment for interviews by the California Review. And I have with me Derrick Roach, who's a private investigator in San Diego. And I wanted to say thank you very much for speaking with us.
It's nice to be here.
Yeah, Derrick is a good fan of the California Reviews, and we've given several copies in the past. He's really enjoyed them. So I have a couple questions for you because of all the stuff that's been coming out with ACORN and things that you've been able to shed light on and hopefully reveal more information on it. So my first question is, what were your first thoughts after seeing the first ACORN video?
After seeing the first ACORN video, I was shocked. I've told people that I was really surprised because I didn't even know that ACORN was operating in our community. I've heard of ACORN. I've heard of the services that they provide, but I didn't even know that they were here in our community.
Yeah, I had not heard about ACORN down here at all. I'm originally from LA, so I figured maybe there's someone with ACORN up there, but I wasn't sure. So my next question is, as a private investigator, what gave you the idea to go and look into ACORN on your own?
Well, I was just driving home one night. I've heard about ACORN. I've seen the videos on TV. I know that there were the press conferences that they held down at the ACORN office in National City. And it just occurred to me, I said, why not go by, see what's going on? I'm a private investigator. I do different types of investigations. Over the 10 years that I've been doing investigations, I've had my share of, crawling through dumpsters and, doing things like this. And so I thought, let's just go by and see what's going on there and take a look. And when I got there, I was really surprised because I actually saw a guy that was dumping documents into the dumpster. And so that's what led me to where, after business hours, I came back and took a look in that dumpster. And the documents that we've been talking about are the ones that I found.
Yeah, and it's legal, correct, to take documents out of public property because it's on the sidewalk, and there's laws about it. Right?
Well, these weren't on the sidewalk. They were in a dumpster. But the courts have ruled, in fact, there's a landmark decision. It's a Supreme Court ruling where it's called California versus Greenwood that says when you place items out for pickup to be disposed of as part of the garbage, that there's no longer an expectation of privacy and that those documents are now part of the public domain. So that is why people are encouraged to shred documents that have personal information, because once you put it out, it's public information.
Excuse me, some out 2/4 for the bus.
So then, I actually heard that you had found your name in the trash for ACORN. What was your response to seeing that?
Well, on the first visit, obviously my name wasn't in there, but there were subsequent visits, and on the last one, I did find information about my name, my business name, my business address, and it was kind of interesting finding that. I'm not worried about it, but I just thought it was kind of interesting that ACORN has become aware of some of my activities, because I am doing other things related to ACORN as far as voter registration issues, things like that. And so I think that's where they got my name, and it was just kind of interesting to see it in there.
And then I heard you guys had a press conference earlier today. What was the media's reaction to that, and how many different groups were there?
Well, the media's reaction was quite interesting. Some of the members of the media clearly were kind of tired of coming out and, another ACORN story. And, so people are like, well, what do you have? Just give it all to us. So it was just kind of interesting to see their response. They even said that they felt that the public was getting tired hearing about this. And based on the responses that I've been seeing just today, I don't think the public's tired of it. In fact, I think that the public is more and more interested because they're getting more and more upset with what they're seeing. ACORN is engaged in actions that demonstrate a blatant disregard for the people that they're claiming to help.
And then, what do you think that what was ACORN's reaction so far since all the press conference and everything started to come out?
Well, within the last hour, I did find out that ACORN supposedly has filed a police report claiming that I have stolen information or violated some law. Personally, I'm not worried about it because I feel that the law is on my side. As I mentioned, that there are some court rulings and some precedents on this. So I mean, they can do what they want. The media might be tired of reporting on the story. Based on ACORN's official response, I think they're clearly tired of the story and being in the media. Just because they're already trying to spin some comments that I've made. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah. And then, what do you think Jerry Brown's reaction would be?
Well, I have been in contact with the Attorney General's office since the press conference. Got a phone call. We do have an appointment tomorrow where 3 investigators are going to be coming to review the documents that are in my possession. And based on the response I'm seeing so far, I'm hoping that the Attorney General is taking this very seriously because citizens of California are taking it seriously.
Yeah. And then do you think there's any long-term results that's going to hopefully come out of this?
Well, I think if there's any long-term result, one, ACORN can't operate in this fashion. I mean, who can argue with the goals that ACORN has as far as helping people that are economically disadvantaged, helping people who are in trouble making their mortgage payments? I mean, no one's going to argue with that. But when you start engaging in activities where it looks like it's criminal, when you start talking about human smuggling, prostitution, you start, taking people's personal information, throwing it in the garbage, all these sorts of things. I think those are the things that I don't want to see ACORN doing because it's not right. In many cases, it's against the law.
And is there anything we should be looking for? Any new stuff on ACORN in the future?
Well, I don't think the ACORN story is going away. Anything from me, there'll probably be some documents that will be coming out, but we want to be careful. We want to be very careful with the documents that we release to the media because there are different investigations taking place, from the local level to the federal level. And so we don't want to do anything that's going to compromise those investigations. And so I'm willing to fully cooperate to do what I can to help. But at the same time, I want to make sure that there's transparency in the process and that the public feels confident in their representatives doing the right thing.
Thank you. Thank you very much for coming out.
Thanks. Okay.
And this was the first installment of the interview process for the California Review. And we should be having many more in the future, so stay tuned. Thank you very much.